Well, we've actually got subscribers now. About 400 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. You can look at the live cam, but nobody's there. So
are we starting now? These are...
Yeah, these are all running. We are good to go.
Alrighty.
So welcome back to Two Nukes. We're going to get started. We're going to talk some news stuff. Although, this week I'm going to start off with the C story. I'd rather do it at the beginning.
All right.
When we're not kind of like tired of all this stupid news we've done.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a C story you want to share, or is it just going to be me again? I don't mind.
Nothing off the top of my head.
All right.
I wasn't ready for that.
I'm aware I didn't prepare you at all. You don't deserve that. What I mean is you don't deserve the preparation.
Right.
You deserve what you got.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. So this one is my very first import experience in the U.S. Navy. We were on our way to Rota, Spain, and the guy who kind of features in the story with me, he's been watching these videos. He's been watching Two Nukes, so I got to be very careful. I'm not going to share his name, but you know who you are, and I hope you enjoy this one, buddy. So we were on the way across the Atlantic Ocean, right? It takes us a little while to get there, and we know that we're going to Rota, Spain first. I've never been to a foreign country in my life at that point. I think you were there at one time too, right? Or no, you lived all over the place.
Yeah, I've lived all over.
But
I stopped in the airport.
It was special for some of us then.
Okay.
And on our way over to Spain, he and I talked, and this guy was a virgin, and which is fine. I mean, I think he joined the Navy at 18. It's not that crazy, right?
Pretty common, probably.
Yeah, I would think it is probably pretty common. And so as we're talking on the way over there, I said, well, what if you went over there and saw one of those, those ladies you could pay for? And he said, no way I would do that, and it was all kind of fun and games. And he'd be maneuvering as the, whatever. He was an electrician. I don't want to get too far into it. I'm not going to identify you, brother. I'm not. So we get there though, and he and I, we end up at a place called Don Ticos.
Okay.
Now, Don Ticos is definitely a facility for ladies of the night. We didn't know that when we were going there. We just thought it was a bar. Like, we actually got in the cab.
Sure.
Well, we did. But that's fine. I don't actually care.
He didn't know.
I didn't know either. But we asked for, so we did say we wanted girls.
Okay.
And of course, there's a language barrier, right? And so I think he took us to where you could get girls, although we were more thinking like interact with people, buy them a drink, just kind of like have fun.
Right.
And he was thinking, no, you want girls. So he takes us to Don Ticos. As soon as we pull up, I mean, this thing, it looks like a motel out of like from the Bates, Psycho, from Psycho, right? The doors are all on the outside of the rooms, and then
it's like an old-timey motel kind of.
Like an old-timey motel, or, I guess a current, Motel 8 or something.
Yeah, I guess
and
still around.
Right. And so, but the what would be the lobby, right? What would be where you go and actually pay for your room, they had turned that into a bar. And you go in there and it's darkly lit, and there's only one entrance. Well, there's a side entrance, and then there's the main entrance. And then to go to where the rooms are, there's this area with like a bouncer and stuff. So like they're taking it pretty seriously. You aren't just free to go to the rooms and stuff, right?
It's organized.
It is. It's very well organized. That's what happens when you legalize this kind of stuff. Look at weed over in all the states where it's legal. Like it's a super organized, like amazing thing.
Ish. Yeah.
Well, look, here's what I know. I love it, and I wish it was legal here. But back to the story. We go to Don Ticos, and we're just sitting in the bar having a drink, and we figure we're probably gonna get another cab. Try to go to a regular bar like we were looking to go to in the first place. When a girl starts talking to my buddy, now again, he's a virgin, so this one-on-one attention he's getting, it feels good. He loves it, right?
Exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting for him, and I don't know how she did it because he was positive. He had told me under no circumstances was he going to partake in this sort of thing, and he all of a sudden he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, bud, I think I'll go with her." I said, "All right, man. That sounds great. You do you. Enjoy it."
He was taking his moment.
Why not?
Yep.
I'm sitting there. I'm going to enjoy another drink or two. I figure like it's his first time. He's going to be,
I mean, when in Rome, right?
10 minutes or so. Like I'm just saying, it's not going to take him very long.
Yep.
I wouldn't think, but it does. 45 minutes later, I'm still sitting there, An hour, I'm still sitting there. And after an hour, I go up to the bouncer guy, and he could sort of understand English, or like he could understand it, but he
Get
could
by.
sort of speak it. And he's like, no, he's busy. He's busy. He goes, 2 girls. And I was like, wait, 2? He goes, yeah. And he's like, oh, getting excited about it. Well, a little bit after this, I see my buddy. He's there at this same guy, and this guy is not just the bouncer, but he's also the guy who takes the credit card and takes their payment. And when I go over there, because they're not letting him through, and I'm like, why aren't they letting him through, right? When I go over there, his card keeps getting declined. Now, we've been at sea for, probably a month at this point. Like, his card shouldn't be declined really for anything outside of tens of thousands, I would think.
I mean, they might just recognize, hey, he's never bought something in another
It's very
country
possible,
before.
but so anyway, whenever I talked to him, he said, well, she told me it was going to be 60, and then another girl came and said that she'd join for another 40. So I was thinking 100, but they're trying to charge my card $700 and it won't go through. And I was like, 700?
What'd you guys do?
Yeah, I'm like, it just feels like, we went from sounding, kind of like a bargain to not being one at all. And they very quickly are not happy with us, especially the girls. The girls are just super livid that they're not getting
their money.
Yeah, they want their money. I get it. They want their money. They introduced my buddy to the world of sex, and they deserve to get paid for it. So they tell us that the only way they're going to let us leave their establishment, because they're a 24-hour business, they don't care, is if we hand them over the cash. Like, there's got to be cash. And I was like, well, bud, I can only get 400 out of the ATM. And he goes, well, I can get I can do 4 and you can do 3. And I was like, okay.
That'll work.
So we talked to the guy and we're like, look, can we go to the ATM? And he goes, no, one of you has to stay. We're going to keep one of you here. And I was like it's a hostage? Sort of, yeah.
Pretty much.
They're gonna keep us there. Like, as long as I like my friend enough, I'll bring back all the money.
Yep.
So I didn't do it that way though. I had him go, and I gave him my card, and I told him what my PIN was, and I said, look, you can get 300 out of mine, 400 out of yours, because we were on Navy Federal, and you were limited to $400 at one day from your ATM card.
Right.
So it's just kind of a problem whenever you're somebody's demanding $700 cash from you.
Yep.
So he calls a cab. Well, he doesn't call it. The bouncer calls a cab for my friend, and while we're waiting, he and I are just talking like, dude, this is ridiculous. And he is all worried that it's an international incident. And he's like, we've created this huge problem, and they're gonna
shit's gonna kill me.
The Spanish government's gonna contact the United States. And I'm like, over a prostitute, man? Like, that's not the way this goes. The United States is not all that interested in that prostitute getting her money.
You panic about everything your first time.
That's right. So anyway, they call the cab. They're holding me, well, not holding me, but they're keeping me over on the side over here. And the bouncer that's watching me walks him to the front and goes and walks halfway to the cab and then lets him go. But I spot that door on the side, so I dart right out the side door and I dive in the cab and I said, "Get out of here! Go to the Navy base." Yeah, and we get out and then he's super nervous. He's like, "They really are going to call. They're going to call.
We're getting arrested."
Yeah, they're going to call the embassy." And I'm like, "The embassy? That's for us, man. Like, the embassy's on our side." And
this prostitute needs her money.
So anyway, there were other people from the boat that were there, a couple of them, right? And one of them happened to be a guy named, honestly, that's the truth. I can't remember his name, even though I did also remember that I'm not supposed to use names.
Yep.
But he was Hispanic and straight up, probably lived half his life in Mexico, Hispanic.
Right.
Well, he let me know on the boat that, in fact, that bouncer who seemed like he was working against us caused the charge not to go through the whole time because he knew the girls were taking advantage of him.
Oh.
He knew there was no way 2 girls for this amount of time should have been $700, and he wasn't going to allow that to happen to this young kid. And so he stopped the charge from going through.
So it was just a communication barrier.
He also didn't care that I escaped. Like, whenever I left, apparently he talked to this other guy from the boat and said, yeah, no, we're not worried about them. They're, he let them know. And so basically my friend went from 60 to 100 to $700 to free. And if that's not consensual sex, I don't know what is. He paid $0.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a good cherry busting.
That reminds me a little bit of that Game of Thrones character, Podrick, I think is what his name was.
Oh, you mean the little person that liked to?
No. So there's a little person.
Oh, Podrick. Yeah, the one who was always with hookers.
They send him to go lose his
Yeah,
virginity.
that's right.
And then the I can't remember his name. The short guy.
Podrick was like the son of the bastard son of the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he went to that whorehouse or whatever in the show. And
Yeah.
And then the girls wouldn't take his money, and he was there all day, and they couldn't.
Oh
figure
yeah,
out,
that's right.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he was especially well equipped.
I
For,
believe that was the gist. Yeah.
that was at least what they wanted us to believe.
Yeah.
He was well equipped for the venture.